Attention, please. This is your principal, Miss McCabe. I wish to take this opportunity on the first morning of the very first day of school to extend a warm welcome to all of our faculty and staff, with the sincere hope that we've all returned from a helpful and fruitful summer vacation, with a renewed vim and vigor, ready to gird our loins and tackle the many important and vital tasks that lie ahead, undaunted. Thank you for your cooperation in the past and the future.
Same message every September. I'm B. Shopter. I have room 508.
Sylvia Barrett, first time for me.
Our Miss McCabe always gives us her pearls and pears, aims and goals, guide and inspire, help and encourage, new horizons and broader vistas.
I am teaching my first class today.
First ever. You're prepared?
I thought I'd begin with first impressions, a lesson on the importance of manners, appearance, speech, on which, although the case for good diction, correct usage, fluent self-expression. From there, it's just a step.
You sure you come to the right school?
Calvin Coolidge, room 304.
When I said prepared.
I majored in Middle English Literature, 2 courses in philosophy education. My master's thesis was on Chaucer.
Well, good luck, Sylvia. If you need any help, just holler. I'm right up there.
Thanks, but
Better you studied karate.
Hi, teach. Look at her. She a teacher.
Is this room 304? Are you Mr. Barrington?
no, I'm Miss Barrett.
I'm supposed to have Mr. Behringer.
Are you the teacher? You so young.
Hey, she's kind of cute. Hey, Teach, can I be in your class?
Please don't block the door.
Good afternoon, Miss Barnett.
Miss Barrett, my name is on the board. Good morning.
Oh no, a chick for homeroom.
Oh, you want? I should slug him, teach.
Is this homeroom period?
Yes, please sit down.
I'm not trying to belong here. Are we gonna have you alter? Are you regular or sub? There's an insufficiency of chairs in here.
Take any seat at all.
Is this room 309?
Can I have a pass to the bathroom? I gotta go to the bathroom.
What's your name?
My name is on the board.
I'm
Oh,
dying.
don't believe him, Teach. He ain't dying.
Stop your inconsideration of the teacher, you bums.
Can we sit on the radiator? That's what we did last term.
Write down, you morons. The teacher's trying to say something.
Will you sit down, please?
Will we have you for avant-garde creative writing?
That bell is your signal to come to order.
Hey, when do we go home?
The first day of school and he wants to go home already?
Is this the right room? What room is this?
This is room 304. My name is on the board, Miss Barrett. I'll have you in homeroom all term, and I hope to meet some of you in my English classes. Now, someone said that first impression.
English? No wonder.
Who needs
You
it?
give homework?
First impressions, they say, are lasting. What do we... Yes?
McCabe wants Ferrone right away.
Whom does she want?
Joe Ferrone.
Is Joe Ferrone here?
Him? That's a laugh.
He'll show up when he feels like it.
I see. Now, we all know that first impressions... Yes?
Is this room 304?
Yes, you're late.
I'm not late. I'm absent. I was absent all last term.
Sit down. I mean, stand up.
I can't. I need to sign my book clearance list. I'm dropping out.
Do you owe any books?
No, I'm not on the blacklist. That's the yellow slip. This is green.
Is it the pass back yet?
Don't you ever give up?
I'm afraid we don't have time for our discussion on first impressions. I'm passing out.
Oh, she's passed out. Give her here.
I am passing out your attendance cards. Please print in ink your last name first, your parents' names, your date of birth, my name is on the board, and the same upside down. Then I'll make out the seating chart. Any questions?
In ink or pencil?
Hey, I got no ink. I need a pencil. Who's got a pencil loading? Anybody?
I don't remember when I was born.
Don't mind him. He's a comic.
Printer right. When did we go to lunch?
I can't write upside down.
Ha ha, he kills me laughing.
What do you want my address for? My father can't come.
Hey, who stole my pen?
I don't know my address.
You don't?
We're moving.
Where are you moving?
I don't know where.
Where do you live?
I don't live in a place.
Any place.
Teach! There's chewing going on. I see.
First name last and last name first.
Is it the pass back yet? I know my rights. This is a democracy, ain't it?
Isn't.
Ow!
What's your trouble?
There
I'll go. That's Mr. Grayson. He's in the basement.
Tell him it's urgent.
For my aunt's name, can I use my mom?
Put down your mother's name.
I've got no mother.
Do the best that you can. Yes?
McCabe says you're to read this to your class.
Miss McCabe. Class, attention, please. There's been a change in today's assembly schedules. Please ignore previous instructions in Curricular 3, paragraphs 5 and 6, and follow the following. This morning, there will be a long homeroom period extending into the first half of the second period. All X2 sections are to report to assembly the second half of the second period. First period classes will begin the fifth period. Third period classes will begin in the sixth period, and so on. Subject classes being shortened to 23 minutes, except lunch, which will be normal.
I didn't hear. What did you say?
What's today's date?
It's September, stupid.
This is a long homeroom.
Please, I'm not finished. Tomorrow, all Y2 sections will follow today's program for X2 sections, while all X2 sections will follow today's program for Y2 sections.
Where do we go?
What period is this? Boys in the back, stop tossing that eraser. Please come to order.
Excuse me, Miss Friedenberg from Guidance. She wants Joe for a round right away.
He isn't here. Now, will you pass your attendance cards down, please?
I haven't started yet. I'm waiting on the pen.
Oh, how do you spell your name?
Hey, he threw the eraser out the window.
Class, will you please? Please just finish your cards while I call roll.
Never got no card.
Any card. You are...
Your fellow teacher, Paul Barringer. I teach English in room 309. Sorry to intrude, but can I borrow your board eraser?
Yes. No. I'm afraid it's gone.
I could go get one for you, Mr. Barringer.
Never mind. Anyway, we've got one thing in common.
What's that?
No erasers.
Class, attention. If I mispronounced your name, please correct me. Arbuzzy Helen.
She's dropping out.
Oh. Yes?
The custodian says there's no one down there.
How can you say that when he is down there?
Well, I don't know. Just what he says. Any answer?
No answer. Blake Alice.
I'm present, Miss Barrett.
Are you sure? Oh, yes. Present. Blanca Carmelita.
Carol, I changed it.
Blanca Carroll.
Here.
Gordon. Yes.
Miss Friedenberg wants a service credit card from the master.
I'm in the middle of the second.
The office needs transportation cards. They're still missing.
Not so fast. The what card?
Transportation, bus, and subway.
I haven't even taken the attendance. Who's in there? Don't rock that chair.
So I fell. Big deal.
Are you hurt?
Nah, just my head.
You better make out an accident report, 3 copies, and send it out to the nurse.
The nurse isn't allowed to give out aspirins. Only tea.
You called out a chair?
He could sue the whole Board of Education.
You better go to the nurse and ask her about those accident report blanks. There's more.
Just this, from the library.
Library. Class, the school library is your library. All students are encouraged to use it at all times. However, the library will be closed to students until further notice to enable teachers to use it as a workroom. Okay, we will get back to attendance. We will not get back to attendance. Yes, Miss McCabe?
New change in assembly program. Your class goes to different rows, X2 schedule rows.
I see.
Oh, and this is important. It's from me, Miss McCabe.
To all teachers, a blue Pontiac parked in front of the school has been overturned. If the following license is yours, Miss McCabe, I don't drive. Okay.
The nurse says she's all out of accident reports, but she wants the missing dentals.
Missing dentals? No, I'm going to finish attendance. And then... Hooray!
Saved by the bell.
No, just a minute, that bell's much
That's
too
the
early.
bell, you heard
The
it.
teachers are letting them out.
It would be a mistake.
When the bell rings, we're supposed to go. Where do we go? Assembly?
We haven't even got to take it. I guess it's just us. You're Alice. Alice Blake.
I want you to know how much I enjoyed your lesson.
Thanks, but it wasn't a... There's more
one who's supposed to read it to your class.
Disregard the bells. Please disregard the bell. Students are to remain in their homerooms until the next bell. Thanks.
Maybe I should have brought you this one first.
Maybe. And I thought I might begin with a lesson on the importance of first impressions. Service credit cards, requisition slips, transportation cards. In the two columns labeled male and female, indicate the number of students in your homeroom born between the following dates.
You Barrett?
Yes? What is that?
A late pass.
That is no way to hand it to me.
My aim is bad.
There's no need for insolence. Please take your hands out of your pockets and that toothpick out of your mouth when you're talking to me.
Which first?
What's your
You
name?
gonna report me?
What is your
You
name?
gonna give me a 0?
I've had just about... What is your name?
Joe,
Joe? Joe what?
Barone, you gonna send me a letter home? Take away my lollipop? Lecture me? Spank me?
All I ask!
Yeah, all you ask.
I don't allow anyone to speak to me like that.
So you're lucky. You're a teacher.
So I'm lucky? Hello? Room 508? You said just holler. B. Help!
Having fun?
I'm having problems. I don't even understand the language. A student called me hey teach.
Maybe he liked you. Why not try responding with hi puke?
I don't think I could ever pull off high pew. And the paperwork, I'm buried beneath an avalanche.
That I can clarify. Let it be a challenge to you means you're stuck with it. Keep it on file in numerical order means throw it in the wastebasket. Interpersonal relationships is a fight between kids. Ancillary civic agencies for supportive discipline means call the cops. Literature based on a student's reading level and experiential background means that's all they've got in the book room. Non-academic minded is a delinquent. And it has come to my attention means that you're in trouble.
That I believe.
Did you get anything done in homeroom?
I took attendance. As far as B, and then a boy fell out of a chair and I forgot to have them salute the flag, which might be illegal.
On assembly days, they salute the flag in the auditorium. What's illegal now is Bible reading.
How about a short, silent prayer?
Only if the word prayer isn't mentioned and if they don't move their lips. And remember, there's no such thing as a permanent pass to the water fountain.
What do I do about the PPPs?
Almost sings, doesn't it? That the pupil personality profile, invented by Ella Friedenberg, guidance counselor, who thinks she's Sigmund Freud. She bases her PPPs on such interview questions as, why do you hate your parents?
If I don't ask, how do I find out? Latent maljudgments may exhibit themselves in socially unacceptable behaviors in the classroom. This is a crucial period in the development of the adolescent. Please send all new pupils' fee for in-depth coverage. However, send the destructive elements to Miss McCabe.
Miss McCabe again.
School principal. She's very strict. I don't know, maybe she has to be, but try to avoid her. She's in charge of discipline and supplies. She can't bear to part with a rubber band. Ask her for a pencil, she turns white.
To all faculty, diligence, accuracy, and promptness are essential in carrying out all instructions. Teachers with extra time are to report back to the office to assist with activities which demand attention. Regarding the requisition of supplies, please anticipate your needs. Do not make excessive demands. Any teachers wishing decorative posters, we have a few left. Block letters, blue on white, knowledge is power, and yellow on green, learning equals earning, and also brown and tan Swiss Alps, slightly torn but still usable.
Students delinquents in obtaining athletic suits are to be alphabetized and reported. Anyone who wishes to be excused from gym are to be sent to me with all personal data.
Frances Egan, school nurse.
Please discourage excessive dieting in your homeroom.
Do not encourage students to purchase paperback editions of Shakespeare and other authors. Because of outside pressures, we should not expose them to insufficiently edited or unexpurgated texts.
Hello there, teachers. Excited for the new school year? Easy Term Confidential Loan Company can solve your problems.
At 35%.
Teachers should function according to instructions. This means hand in on time. Pupils are to report back to their homerooms to be checked off at 2:56. Dismissal bell will ring at 3:05 sharp. However, this is uncertain. Send legitimate lateness to the lateness coordinator. If excuse is invalid or suspect, send offenders to me, Miss McCabe. Please read to your students a list of infractions and penalties to instill in them a sense of civic responsibility. Post in a prominent place in homeroom, a student who is late may fail to graduate.
I have to leave you now. Trying to salvage a potential dropout.
The very first girl I called on today was dropping out. Our buzzy, Helen.
I've got to drop out, Miss Barrett. I'm of age, my income is needed at home.
Helen, we should talk about this. Perhaps we could find some way to solve.
Why talk? Most schools waste anyhow. Every class is just another subject. Algebra, French, equal English. What's the point?
If you give me a chance to.
It's all a jumble, and every class teacher tells us something different, so you don't know what to believe anymore.
But before you take this step, it is going to affect the rest of your life. Shouldn't we at least
Save your breath. I'm better off out. Miss Barrett,
Yes, Miss McCabe?
it has come to my attention that you have neglected to fill out Form B22 accident report of a fall from a chair that was incurred in your official class this morning. Such negligence could lead to serious consequences.
But he wasn't hurt. Miss McCabe, my real concern is.
Before leaving the building today, please fill out B22 in triplicate.
Yes, Miss McCabe.
Thank you. Hey, you there, you're standing there suspiciously.
I think you were expecting a little too much, Miss Barrett.
Admiring your penmanship.
Suddenly my name looks unfamiliar to me. I'm not even sure I spelt it right.
For the school teacher who has everything.
A board eraser. Thank you.
McCabe wasn't around, so I took 2.
You'll have to do better, Miss Barrett.
Suave K-Poo. I have a free, unassigned period. I'll be having coffee in the teacher's lounge.
Perhaps I'll, if I can get through the locker assignments.
Then I'll see you.
B Schachter.
I'm with child.
Then quickly. You have not told me about Paul Behringer.
The glamour boy of the English department. Unpublished writer. Such men are dangerous. He'll woo you with rhymes. You're on your own.
I see.
Miss Barrett,
Yes, Miss McCabe?
was Joe Ferrone at home this morning? Did he stay till the bell?
He was a little late, but he stayed to the bell.
Are you sure? Because it's important. A valuable wallet was stolen from a locker this morning. And I understand Ferrone was seen loitering in that vicinity just before the bell.
Then it couldn't have been Joe. He was in homeroom.
I see. Was he in any trouble?
Trouble?
Disruptive? Rude? Any trouble?
No. No trouble.
If you think it helps to cover for them, you are very much mistaken.
Unless there's something else, Miss McCabe, I am going for a cup of coffee.
Better luck next time, McCabe.
Miss McCabe,
Miss.
every year I have to deal with the lot of you.
Please ascertain the number of students who have not had a hot breakfast this morning. Now that winter is approaching, this is particularly important. Poor nutrition is frequently the cause of poor marks.
Camden College Clarion! Get your Clarion today. Halloween issue just out. Includes interviews, a message from your principal, and important advertisements.
The corner coffee shop, where friend meets friend.
Compliments of the Vanity Dress Company.
Your education has been planned and geared to help and prepare you to function as mature and thinking citizens. I'm sure you will all prove worthy and deserving of our trust and expectations. Sign me, your principal, Miss McCabe.
Acting classes from the Clarion. The teacher the girls would like to be on a desert island with Moses, Mr. Paul Poet Barrington. The teacher readies with unselfish helps, Miss B. Mom Schachter. The most glamorous teacher, Miss Sylvia Barrett. She's only been with us since September, but we hope she stays a while.
As a special service, your Clarion has inaugurated a lost and found column. First, we'll list lost.
Green plaid jacket, torn lining, broken zipper, urgent need. Signed, Lou Martin.
Makeup kit, Fake red alligator, Linda Rosen.
Hollywood horoscope of Stars magazine. Reward, Alice Blake.
Lost or stolen my left lens for my eyeglasses between here and history class. Harriet A. Hagen. And now for founds. No founds. The Clarion is the voice of your school. Please subscribe and solicit ads to keep it talking.
All teachers, attention. Do not accept lateness excuse due to fire on the subway. This was checked by me, Miss McCabe, with the Transit Authority. There was no fire on the subway.
Miss McCabe to Miss Barrett. Please note, Joe Perone has been placed on probation. Truant officer reports no such address as the one given. Subject teachers claim he's been cutting classes. Nurse says he's on dental blacklist. Best of luck, Joe.
Watch the baby a minute. I have a letter from my dear friend Sylvia. We went through college together, and now she's teaching in New York. A far cry from college and Professor Winter's lectures on the psychology of the adolescent. I have met the adolescent face to face. Clearly, Professor Winters has not. While you're strolling the suburban supermarket with your baby in your cart, or taking a shower in the middle of their period,
I'm automatically erasing the latest graffiti from the blackboard. Even the building seems hostile. Carved up desks, gloomy corridors, broken windows. I've only been here for 2 months, and already I'm in a battle that I'll probably lose.
over the boy you mentioned in your last letter?
Joe Ferrone. Insolent, contemptuous, very bright, but flunking every class.
Why fight for that one?
I don't know. Maybe it's because there's something in his rebelliousness it's like mine. It's against the same things. Or maybe it's just because he's been so damaged.
You're a teacher. You're not there to fight for them.
I keep thinking of Maddie, who was in college with us. Right now, she is holding seminars on James Joyce at Willowdale Academy under the philosophic maples.
Is there anything keeping you from Willowdale? That other teacher, Paul something?
Behringer?
Tell me about him.
All I really know, he's clever, attractive, but there's something about him that eludes. It's hard to say. For one thing, he always waits till all the hall traffic has subsided before he leaves his room. It's as if he's trying to avoid being touched by the kids. And for another, he seems just marking time, passing through here till he gets published and can leave.
And you and the girl students find this intriguing?
Devastating. There's a girl in my homeroom, Alice Blake, who's nearly lovesick over the man.
The thing I really like about him, Miss Barrett.
Alice, please.
He never sits behind the desk. Either he leans against it or he sits on top. Oh, and have you noticed one eyebrow is higher than the other?
Alice, the subject is Homer's The Odyssey.
I know. Also the myths and their meaning. But have you noticed?
I'm looking forward to your paper, Alice.
Yes, Miss Barrett.
Well, have you?
How about what?
Notice his eyebrows.
The one's higher than the... What possible difference could that... Sorry, I can't talk now.
I think that's Paul coming. I'll talk later.
What's the matter with Alice Blake?
There is nothing the matter with Alice Blake.
Don't bite my head off, especially now, because you're about to be immortalized. I found a rhyme for Sylvia Barrett.
Nothing rhymes with Barrett.
14 carats. Why'd you insist on going home so soon after dinner last night? I thought we were having a pretty good time.
Papers to mark.
No one can take it that seriously. You're put off by my bad mood. It was the latest rejection slip. The tone was not only polite but condescending. Why don't I write of something familiar?
Well?
What do they want me to write about? Calvin Coolidge High School?
At least they couldn't say you're not familiar with...
Kids sprawling in classrooms, yawning in assemblies, pushing through halls.
That's the surface, Paul. If you get closer...
You get closer?
I'm trying, but I haven't even found what to call them. Kids, teenagers, young adults, youngsters. Those terms all seem stilted, inappropriate, even offensive.
Let it go at student load. Sylvia, I've started on a new novel. This one's going to make it. Let's have a cup of coffee later, and I'll tell you about it.
Sure, Paul.
A big subject, a nuclear physicist. He's marooned on a peninsula in Kamchatka.
I looked up Kamchatka. It's at the far eastern end of Russia, opposite Japan. Maybe he knows all about it. Maybe he takes a Trans-Siberian Railroad that gets Calvin Coolidge High every day.
More likely the subway.
Are you reaching the students?
No. But there was a beautiful moment yesterday. For the first time, I was able to excite a class with an idea. I put on the board Browning's "A man's reach exceeds his grasp for what's a heaven for." And then we were involved. A spirited discussion, aspiration versus reality. Is it wise to aim higher than one's capacity?
Yes.
No.
Does it doom one to failure?
Of course. Don't be stupid.
How are you gonna make progress?
What about ambition?
So what? So all you do, you get frustrated.
And hope. What about hope?
You've got to be practical.
I say you gotta have a dream.
Hitch your wagon to a star.
Miss Barrett,
Call on me.
My turn.
call on me.
Oh, please, let me talk. Barrett!
Yes? Miss McCabe?
Can't you keep your class in order?
They're in order. We're in order.
Then what is the meaning of all of this?
Oh, what?
All this noise.
The noise, Miss McCabe, is the sound of them thinking.
There will be 3 bells rung at 3 separate times, indicating shelter drill. Loud discussions do not encourage the orderly evacuation of the class.
I suppose she has her issues too. But keeping order is getting to be the important thing. Enthusiasm is frowned upon because it gets noisy. I don't know that I'm even reaching them at all.
Let it be a challenge to you.
How do other English teachers... Class, what have you gotten out of English so far?
In my many years of frequenting school, I've been well satisfied with my instruction, and I hope to achieve further progress in my chosen program of study, which is
Okay, Harriet. We get it.
What I got out of it is literature and books, but having boys in class distracted for English. Better luck next time.
I hope this term with you will be good, because you seem to be alive. Though it's too early to tell.
Being you're still new, you should know that I make a bargain with my teachers. If I don't bother them, they won't bother me.
I've learned to doodle. English is such a boring subject, you spend a lot of time just doodling.
Essays. A lot of gossip. Ivanhoe is for the birds. George Eliot stinks even though he's a lady.
A kaleidoscope. A crazy quilt. An ever-shifting pattern. Shapes that come and go, leaving no echo behind. Such is my remembrance of many lost and vanished hours of English, from whence I arise. All creativity stifled, yet a phoenix with hope reborn. Will it be different this term? The question, poised on the spear of time, is still unanswered. I was supposed to be in Miss Schachter's creative writing class, but because of a conflict, I couldn't get in.
Sorry about that. Let me ask a more specific question. Why do we study myths? The Odyssey?
Because we want to talk like cultured people. How would you feel if you were at a party and someone mentioned a Greek god and you didn't know him? You'd be embarrassed. We study myths to learn what it was like to live in the golden age with all the killings. Without myths, where would Shakespeare be today?
We study myths because they're about love.
To me, the Odyssey was just another Percy Jackson or Lord of the Rings. Who wants to hear about someone's troubles?
Everyone has to read them. Now it's our turn.
Myths help us gain a tolerance for others, even if they don't deserve it.
We read it because it's a classical. In my opinion, I hated the Odyssey. Homer is such a lousy writer.
Why do you ask these questions? Just what are you trying to prove? No one in this school gives a damn about us, and it's the same at home and in the street outside. You probably don't care for my language, so give me a 0 in vocabulary. Anyhow, I'm quitting the end of this term, joining the dogs eating dogs in this lousy world you're educating us for. Oh, but don't worry, you'll still find plenty willing to play your game of ba ba little lambs, trot and step, and get your nice clean diplomas served on dirt. yummy. I trust that answers your question?
You expressed yourself vividly, Joe, and your metaphors, from dogs to lambs, are apt. I'd give you higher marks than you'd give yourself. Joe, before you drop out, stay after school and let's talk about this.
I don't understand them big words, Teach. And I'm busy after school. Every day. You'll have to prove yourself on your own time, Teach.
First time you've ever been early?
I missed the class before this because of McCabe.
Miss McCabe, please admit Bear to class. He was detained by me for going up the down staircase and subsequent insolence. J.J. McCabe.
Think of that.
Sit down. Do you have your homework? Why?
I didn't do it.
Why not?
I just didn't.
Someday you'll have to prove yourself, Joe. You have so much you're not using. You could.
I'm supposed to accelerate at my own pace. I'm supposed to compete with myself. Well, maybe I'm not so hot.
Oh, I happen to know your IQ, and it's pretty hot. We have a test today, so hurry along and turn in your homework.
Homework? Someone stole my homework. It's like this, Miss Barrett. I fell asleep on the subway because I stayed up so late doing my homework. So when the subway stopped at my station, I ran through the door to not be late. And I left my homework on the subway. I was taking down the assignment, but my boyfriend stopped. I just studied French, so I didn't have time for English.
The page was missing from my book.
If a teacher wants to know something, why doesn't she just look it up herself instead of making these students do it?
There's no room because my uncle moved in. And I'm sleeping in the hall, and I can't use the kitchen table.
Those hours when I do homework, I can watch TV.
What homework?
I hate to tell you this. A terrible tragedy. My dog went on my homework.
Well, that makes it unanimous, Lenny. Almost unanimous. Thank you, Alice.
Why so many tests, Teach?
I learned your name, Lenny. Couldn't you learn mine?
Well, you're Teach. Why not call you Teach?
Because it's protocol, dum-dum. Right, Miss Barrett?
Don't open the test booklet till I say start.
I don't care if I never open it.
Anything you say, Teach.
This doesn't seem to be part of your homework, Alice.
You didn't read it? Read what? Let's see. A big heart with palms. Poetry characters. Hey, look at that. Wait
That is enough! If you want your privacy respected, respect it in others first.
Honesty.
Miss Barrett, put this away. Don't open your test booklets till I say start. Before we start, pay attention to this directive. The fact that Thanksgiving falls when it does this year is causing difficulties in midterm examination schedules. Since there will be no final exams, midterm grades will count as 2/3 of the final grade. Students are to place on the floor all books, notebooks, and personal possessions. Students may not leave their seats for any reason whatsoever. The proctor is to approach them at their seat to answer questions. No questions are to be answered by the proctor. If a student desires to go to the restroom, the proctor will escort the student to the door and summon the hall proctor, who will escort the student to the restroom. Male teachers will escort boys, female teachers will escort girls. Students must understand the importance of high ethical standards.
His voice, the way his eyebrow goes up. How to describe the emotion? If I could die for you, Paul, like the Lady of Shalott you read to us about, floating dead on the river under his window, and Lancelot never knowing, saying only, "She has a beautiful face, the Lady of Shalott." In my bed at night, I pray to the ceiling. Please, make him love me, or notice me in class where I sit. Make him take me in his bold, throbbing embrace. When I stare at the cracks in the ceiling, and how ugly everything is, I think it's unreal.
my house, and my parents. Real life is somewhere else. On moonlit terraces, in tropic gardens, foreign cities, darkling woods.
Ready? Begin. Get on with it. You too, Alice.
Hi. I see you have your tests underway too. What do you think about when they take tests?
I should be thinking about all of the emails that I have to answer before 3.
Have you gotten onto all the official gobbledygook yet? Can you translate the following? Illustrative material.
Magazine covers.
Enriched curriculum.
Teaching who and whom.
Very good. What about all evaluation of students should be predicated upon initial goals and grade level expectations?
If the boy shows up, pass him.
You're coming along nicely.
Barrett!
Trouble. Yes, Joe?
I need to be excused.
We're in the middle of a test.
What's the answer to the question for?
I don't think we learned this.
No talking, please just do your best.
Barrett!
Finish your test.
I need to go to the bathroom.
Couldn't you wait till after?
No.
Careful, Sylvia.
You have to be escorted.
So get an escort.
I don't see... Proctor! Oh, Proctor!
Just give me a few minutes.
There's no escort.
So what are you gonna do?
I'm going to trust you. Do I have your word that you won't ask for answers or get help?
Sure do, Teach.
Does showing disrespect make you feel better, Joe? More important, a bigger man?
Some of these questions.
No talking! Just do your paper, Lenny.
I'm not cheating. I'm left-handed.
Since 5 minutes ago.
Fine. I'll do it right-handed. Teach.
I shouldn't have let him go.
Probably not.
I just can't take the system so seriously. Do you get those absurdities? Lateness due to absence, polio consent slips, high underachiever.
I can match yours any day. Please disregard the following.
All teachers, at the end of homeroom period, send those students who have failed to report for checkout because they have left the building to me, Miss McCabe.
How do we send students who have left the building?
It'll be a challenge.
I have some useful materials for you, Miss Barrett. A few more personality profiles. Lou Martin exhibits inverted hostility and manic behavior patterns. Jose Rodriguez must curb paranoia due to socioeconomic environmental factors.
What am I to do with this information?
My biggest concern is Joe Ferrone. A dangerous situation. It's imperative that you channel his imperative, libido-aggressive impulses into socially acceptable behaviors.
How? How do you suggest?
He disrupts others, skips classes. Every staircase is clearly marked, an up staircase or a down staircase. He always does the opposite. You have to do something.
Miss Barrett?
Oh, dear. Focus on your tests. Yes, Miss McCabe?
How dare you?
How dare I what?
Let him out of the room unescorted.
He had to go.
Unescorted?
There was no escort.
You could have waited.
The situation did not warrant waiting.
His exam papers may be invalidated.
Why?
Because he could have been looking up answers.
He told me he wouldn't.
He told you he wouldn't?
Yes.
And you believed him?
I believed him.
Go back to your seat, young man.
I believe him.
Girl in 4C, eyes on your paper. Will you come here, please?
Yes, Miss McCabe.
This isn't the time or the place to explain the gravity of your position. You had explicit instructions. You disobeyed them. When Perone finishes, put his paper aside.
He did not cheat.
They don't need your coddling, they need discipline. We need to punish them. Punish them for every infraction, because if we don't, they'll get it from a cop or a judge. Have you ever been to juvenile court? Sure, we have to earn their respect, but there is only one way. Strict enforcement. There is a strong possibility that your entry rating will be unsatisfactory. Do you see what they're doing? Keep an eye on them.
When the bell sounds, please bring your examination papers to me.
I finished early, Miss Barrett.
Thanks.
And actually, I do write left-handed sometimes.
I hope I did okay, Miss Barrett.
I'm sure you did, Lou.
I mixed up my homework papers. Thank you for standing up for me. For us.
That's not your fault. Here's mine, Miss Barrett. Now you have to work for such a long day for you, Teach. Be nice, Miss Barrett.
Everything's gonna be okay.
If it were up to me, Miss Barrett, I'd say you're very satisfactory.
Don't mind her, Miss Barrett.
You know, maybe if you say so, I guess I could give Homer another try.
It's optional, Lenny.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll see.
You may fool them, Miss Barrett, but you can't fool me. You're even phonier than the other teachers because you put on this act, being a chick you know how, pretending to give a damn. Just who do you think you're kidding?
Is there something else, Joe?
Nothing else, nothing. Too bad I can't believe you, that's all.
It's from Sylvia. She says that she's beginning to feel like she isn't communicating with anybody. You need to communicate with Maddie. How are you going to respond to the February vacancy at Willowdale? Tell me about Willowdale.
It's a small suburban college. Pleasant, cozy. Maddie writes they have trees in the windows and sit in leather chairs and sip coffee.
Miss Barrett? Due to the laxness of your part, one of our students is under the suspicion of cheating. This can have a demoralizing and corrupting effect, and I find her actions very disturbing.
Yes, Miss McCabe.
Incidentally, looking over your record, I see a note from the payroll department of a salary overpayment of $2.75 from last June. That should have been taken care of long ago.
I wasn't even here in June.
Is there anything keeping you from at least applying to Willowdale?
No reason. Except what? Except I like high school kids. I chose to teach here. No one forced me. And despite everything, I've got to keep trying.
Do you feel you're reaching a easy to grasp?
Miss Barrett, I can't talk now. I'll call later, sometime after 8.
That phone call was supposed to come tonight. I wonder what happened.
Miss Barrett, I need help.
What's wrong?
The letter.
What letter?
To Mr. Barringer.
Alice, sit down. You wrote a letter to Mr. Barringer?
You have to give it back.
I can't do that.
It's in room 309. It's on his desk. There was no one
So
around.
go over to 309.
I'm afraid. Suppose he's there. Suppose he's read it. How could I face him?
Alice, what was in this letter?
It was a terrible mistake.
Then get it back.
I can't.
There you are. I received your letter.
Yes?
I'd like to talk to you about this letter.
You would?
I'd like to see you privately.
See me? Privately?
Excuse us, please.
Yes, Mr. Paul. You want to talk to me about my letter?
And make a few corrections.
Corrections?
You use a series of dots instead of punctuation. Let's see now. Dear Mr. Barringer, last Sunday I took the subway to your stop. Insert comma, having looked it up on your time card. ... I hope you don't mind the presumption. That's misspelled. I walked back and forth across the street from your house, insert comma, back and forth, insert comma, and my heart was throbbing with this love I bear for you. ... Throbbing is a cliche. I think of you all the time. ... I pray to be worthy of you, and if ever you need me to die for you, I'll gladly do so. ... I feel so deeply the truth and beauty. Cliches, no need to capitalize. But I have to speak out this love I feel. ... There's some repetitions here and a change in tense.
What did you do?
I handled her letter the only possible way.
How?
As a composition.
Oh, no.
Yes. What does a neurotic adolescent know about love?
Probably more than you do about a nuclear physicist marooned in Kamchatka.
Alice. Too much commotion.
Miss Barrett, have you seen Mr. Behringer?
He just left.
If he comes back, tell him to call the office right away.
Okay, but I'm an inspector. A license in English in the New York City secondary school system. And
Please send down the health card for Alice Blake. Urgent! Do you have any Blake accident reports? I'm all out. Urgent!
an accident?
All teachers and students will remain in their rooms, disregarding the bells until further notice. Lessons are to proceed as usual with no reference to the incident. Teachers are to discourage morbid curiosity.
Miss McCabe, what happened?
Such behavior is completely atypical for a girl with such a stable personality profile, but there are factors beyond our control.
Miss Barrett, the office needs you to fill out this emergency form.
I don't know anything about an emergency.
It's simple. All you do, check 1, parent or guardian, breach, not breach. By telephone, by email. Then have the parent or guardian fill in Alice.
Fill in what? Tell me.
Haven't you heard?
Is that the police or?
Probably the ambulance. To take Alice Blake to the hospital. She fell out of a window. Now, please, parent or guardian, breach, not breach. By telephone,